and welcome or welcome back. My name is Kristen. Has it been a long time since I've done a video? Yes. Is that okay? Also yes, because there's been a lot happening. We're just gonna move on, okay? We're just gonna jump straight into it. I have a pretty large stack of books beside me because this year I wanted to film this video a while back, but we're filming it now, and that's totally fine. In the past couple of years, actually, I've done a 24 and 24, and then I've done a 25 and 25. But last year, towards the end of the year, I was like, I don't know if I can really do a 26 and 26. That felt a little overwhelming. I was coming off of a reading slump. There was a lot happening. It wasn't the best year just in general. So I was like, you know what? If I do want to do like a reading challenge, like a something in something for the year, I'll just do a 12 and 12. I still ended up kind of making it a challenge in a way. I decided to do 2 different 12 and 12s. And today we're going to be talking about my mini 12 and 12. I was getting a little bit more interested in manga towards the end of last year, and while I was planning out my more typical 12 and 12, my brain came up with the idea of, well, what if we came up with a mini 12 and 12? And there I hatched the idea of, well, what if we came up with reading the first volumes of 12 different manga? I thought this would be a fun way to kind of slowly introduce myself into manga and kind of pick and choose to see what I like, maybe, and hopefully I like all of them, because otherwise, if I don't like any of them, or if I don't end up liking most of them, Tian was like, so if you don't like any of them, or if you don't like most of them, you're just going to end up with a bunch of first volumes. And I said, well, yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think that will happen. I did end up going for what I think is a pretty decent mix. I did go for ones that I had heard of, that I know are fairly popular. I did grab some that I had never heard of. Maybe you guys have, but I'm still fairly new to the genre as a whole, so I've never heard of them before. And maybe they are popular and I don't know that, but they sounded interesting to me. That was pretty much what I was going for, is going for ones that maybe are more safe. If they're pretty popular, it's kind of a safe bet. So pretty good chance that if a ton of people enjoy it, there's a very high chance that I'll probably enjoy it as well. Not a guarantee, but I think that's a pretty safe bet. And then reading summaries, does this sound interesting to me? That's kind of what I was going for. In no particular order, One Piece. So many people I know love One Piece, and I figured if I don't try this one, they probably would get upset. They'd probably be like, really? You tried 12 different volumes of manga for an entire year, and not a single one of them was One Piece.
Girl, what?
So I figured I had to. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it. Seems like a good time. This is the omnibus edition. I got a little deal on it. This is volumes 1, 2, and 3. That's why it is so large. But I will only be reading the first volume technically for the challenge. And if I like it, then I can continue it. I have volumes 2 and 3 to go through. So that'll be fun. Witch Hat Atelier. I have had some friends who have read this one and they really enjoyed it. It is more of a cozy manga, and I feel like I kind of have to be in the mood for manga like this, so going into it a little bit unsure, but it sounds fun, sounds cute, it's witches. I'm going into all of these hoping to keep an open mind, even if it's something that maybe I wouldn't have necessarily chosen myself just right off the bat, because I'm normally not a person who typically goes for stuff that's more labeled towards cozy. There are sometimes that even I'm like, you know what? It's been a rough week, rough month, rough year. 2026 has been a rough year so far. Sometimes you just want something cozy where you can sit down, turn your brain off, and have a cute time. Girl crush. I like this cover and it sounded fun. If I read a book summary and it just sounds like a good time, I'll be like, I'd read that. So this sounded fun. It sounded fun. It's a bright pink cover. It sounds like a good time. I'm down. I thought about going over the summaries of each one, but considering I'm gonna do a short review of each manga for each month, I know I'm already behind. I know it's February, so I'm gonna do 2 this month. But I figure I'll do the summary when I do the review. And some of these are very popular, such as One Piece, and I figured most people kind of already know what some of these are about. Moving on to number 4, Mob Psycho 100. I also really liked this cover too. This one, I saw the cover and I was like, that looks really interesting. What the hell is that about? Again, it sounded really interesting. Tien also read it because he was wandering around the store and I had a stack of manga in my hand and I was like, read this. This sounds cool. Once again, it just sounded interesting. Kaiju number 8. I really liked those kaiju movies. What were those kaiju movies called? Pacific Rim. Okay, well, let me clarify. I really liked the first Pacific Rim. The second one was fine. I just really like monster movies. So this one, I was like, kaiju reminded me of Pacific Rim. So I was already interested. And it sounds funny. It sounds funny. It sounds like a good time. That's why I picked it up. Monsters and funny. Those were the 2 things that I picked up on this one. Next one on the list is Die Dark. And this one also sounded really interesting. Sounds a little dark. Also sounds a little bit funny. I think not all of them. I was about to say like a lot of these have a little bit like sound a little bit funny, but then I was like, not all of these are funny. So let me just stop that statement in its tracks. This one also sounded really interesting and I enjoy the cover. The cover is really intriguing. So Die Dark up next. I think this is number 5. No, it's number 6. Chainsaw Man, which just sounds fun. I think, was this an anime? I actually don't know. You think I would have looked things up before I made this video, but I didn't. I'm sure you're shocked. I like the cover. He's got chainsaws for arms. You can't go wrong unless you're on the receiving end of the chainsaws, in which case it's not going to go well for you. Just don't be on the receiving end and you're fine. Gannibal. This is why I didn't want to say all of them sounded funny, because this one immediately popped into my head. This one sounds so dark, but sounds so good. When I was checking out at the store, this was, I think, was on top of the stack of manga as I was checking out, and the person that was like ringing me up, they were like, ooh, you got some good ones in here. And I was like, out of that stack, like, which one would you say is your favorite? And he was like, I'm not gonna tell you, but I kind of have a feeling this one may have been one of them. So I'm really excited to read this one. The summary sounds so interesting. I'm really excited to read this one. Sounds really dark. It sounds really good. Attack on Titan. I actually tried to watch this show a while ago, like multiple years ago, and I think I got to maybe 2 episodes in when like the big giant people started attacking, and I was like, what is happening? Why are there giant naked people? Why are they attacking this city? I was really confused, but I didn't continue. I was interested, but at the time, I don't think it was for me. So I would like to maybe see what's going on, because the story sounded interesting enough. Because why are there giant naked giant people attacking a town? Like, where did they come from? What's going on? Maybe I won't figure it out in the first volume. Why would they give away all the answers? But maybe I'll get some answers. Spy Family is another one that I know is very popular. I know a lot of people have really fallen in love with this series. I'm excited to get into this one too, because a lot of people have really enjoyed this one. And it sounds fun too. That's going to be a recurring theme, is it sounds fun. Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. I actually didn't pick this up the first time I was in the store. I picked it up, looked at it, and went, that's one of those like slice of life ones, not really sure I'm feeling it, and I put it back. And then the second time I went into the store to kind of look again and see what other manga I wanted, I actually picked it up because Sketchy is also a slice of life manga. I do have to be in the mood for a slice of life manga, but when I'm in the mood for it, I am in the mood for it. Sometimes it's kind of like with the cozy manga, with a cozy fantasy, with cozy anything. I do have to be in a specific mood, but when I am, I do very much enjoy it. I think I will find the right time to read this one, and I feel like the right time will probably be coming up very soon. Dan to Dan. Dan's actually watched this whole anime. He said he would rewatch it with me because he enjoyed it so much. We haven't done that yet. We just haven't found the time, but he really enjoyed it. He said it's a good time. I figured, why not get the manga, read the first one, and then maybe after I read the first one, we can actually start watching. Well, I can watch it for the first time, and then he can rewatch it for the second time. So there we go, 12 manga for 12 months. I technically have already read January's. I have picked out February's. I just haven't done the review for January's yet. I'm gonna do that soon. It's totally fine. And February is already half over and I haven't started this manga, but luckily the good thing about mangas is they're all pretty short, you know? I know the One Piece one is very large, but that's a 3-in-1. I almost dropped these on my face. But I'm actually really excited about this because 12 and 12 is just so much less intimidating in my brain, especially this year, than 26 and 26. Technically, with my regular 12 and 12, I'm doing 24 in 2026. And I realized that after the fact, that I was like, well, it's still different because the manga are shorter. That's girl math, okay? Don't question it. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if you've read all of these. Let me know if you have any suggestions about any other manga that I might enjoy. That was something I did ask folks for manga recommendations, but they were like, it's kind of hard to give recommendations if we don't know what you like. And I think that's fair. You know, they were like, we don't know what you've read and what you enjoyed. So it's going to be kind of hard to give you a recommendation if we don't know like what manga you have or haven't enjoyed in the past. Once I start reading all these and I can be like, okay, well, this one was a 5-star, this one was a 3 or a 2 or a 4. Hopefully they're all rather high. Then maybe I can start getting more recommendations. Or ideally, I can start filling out these collections. I'm really excited about some of these in particular. I think I'm going to do wheel spins starting from February onward. January's, I picked one based off of vibes, based on what I was just like, I need this particular kind of moment right now. February and forward, I think I'm gonna do a wheel spin. So look out for those. Everyone loves a good wheel spin. But thank you for joining me. Let me know if you have read any of these and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.